Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Star Citizen Alpha 4.1.1 has now entered Evocati, and it looks pretty impressive. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys. Thank you so much for the support. So today we have just a pretty quick update video talking about what is going on with Alpha 4.1 and 4.1.1. as the latter has now entered the Evocati testing phase, with the goal being, they say, to accelerate this patch through the waves as soon as possible after a couple of Evocati publishes. So essentially, once we have seen another patch or two release, it'll start opening up to more testers and leave this NDA phase. Now, if you have seen any of the leaks for 4.1.1, you'll know there is potentially a lot of new content coming with this patch by way of missions, Wakillo rewards, new locations, and, as always, many tweaks and updates. But I won't be sharing the leaks here, and if you have seen them, be aware that some of the data mined information could be for future patches, not necessarily 4.1.1. With that said though, let us take a quick look at the latest patches for the Evocati. Now, there was a new 4.1.1 patch set to release last night, intended for a 3 to 4 hour playtest, but unfortunately for whatever reason the build failed, so they will likely be releasing that one this evening. So it is safe to say that going to this next wave is most likely going to be a next week thing rather than this week. But the build that dropped before this was a pretty impressive one, not for content but for bug fixes. Now, this build released on the 9th of April, so a couple of days ago, and it states that there are over 100 potential bug fixes for issues that occurred in 4.1, saying that 23 of these originated from the Issue Council. Now, of course, I won't run through each bug fix, but these include a fix where players are mismatched to shards that are no longer active, that will lead to loading timeouts, a 60k disconnection error fix, a potential exploit fix for contested zones where players are able to emote through doors still, many fixes for the Hathor Align and Mine event, inventory issues, ship issues, and of course many more. Now, this build also brought 8 client crash fixes, 9 server crash fixes, and a main thread deadlock fix. And as usual with the rollout of patches this year, the first point patch after a initial release of, say, a bigger content release patch are aimed at fixing many of the issues that are not hot fixable. So 4.1.1 is very much a patch that is set to target a lot of the 4.1 bugs, but also continue on fixing more of what is causing issues in Star Citizen as a whole. And if the leaks are accurate for 4.1.1, then we will see a huge amount of new content come along, like many new locations for both Pyro and Stanton, a huge amount of new missions, and many changes to many areas of the game. Now, talking of hotfixes, for 4.1 there has been quite a few recently, one of which dropped a couple of days ago that was set to test 4 crash fixes, plus a very important fix was hopefully sorted with this hotfix, being to clean up the landing gear clutter. Now, for me, this is going to be one of the best hotfixes that we could see if it's working. I haven't checked myself yet, as there is always so much landing gear lying around, and it's becoming a real pain for many areas of the game. So if they can get that all cleared up, I will be very happy. Now, there was also a new hotfix pushed to the hotfix channel last night for 4.1 that also brings 4 client crash fixes, as well as a fix for players not being able to hold anything via the carry interaction. So if that hotfix goes well, chances are tonight it'll get pushed to live. Whether we see a new hotfix rollout tonight or later down the line is yet to be seen, but I wouldn't be surprised. But so far, Alpha 4.1.1 is looking like a pretty exciting patch, with a lot more to be getting on with, even if much of this leaked stuff isn't set to release with 4.1.1, it won't be far off. But I suspect tonight, this latest patch that failed will be out to the Evocati, maybe with a short duration playtest before pushing it to Wave 1, but I think it is more likely that Wave 1 will be early next week. And hopefully we will have a little bit more insight into what to expect from 4.1.1 with a more fleshed out patch notes. But with that said, the Drake Shard has just released for GameGlass, and is already my new favorite, so if you are a GameGlass user, be sure to check that out. Also, the price of the lifetime pass for GameGlass right now is 27% off until next Monday. So if you are wanting it at the lower price, be sure to use my link and take advantage of that deal. And in doing so, you are also providing my channel with a direct kickback. And a huge thank you to everyone who has done so already. I can see there is a lot of you, so thank you so much for the support. Do let me know which shard you like the most, Drake or Aegis. But that is it for this video. I am still working on the monthly report. Apologies it is taking so long. My family and I are all ill, but we are slowly getting better, so hopefully I can get caught up on things. If you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, do check out my camping YouTube. Do come and hang out over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. The link is below, or you can watch it here on YouTube. You are all more than welcome to watch. We'll be running through the monthly report today, and then maybe next week, starting out on the Zero to Hero off-grid lifestyle. Got a lot planned for this season, and I'm itching to get started with it. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys, so thank you for the support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.